All right, Shalom. For the first one, give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shem Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and to all the Akim across the globe. Pushing the word of truth in the city, I want to say Shalom. As I die now from the great millstone campus, Chicago, with another lesson. Going to basically these Christians, most of our people, in their heart, in their mind, they believe they're doing the right thing. They go to church. They may have a food drive or a clothing drive, and they may even do some volunteer work. And they think they're doing the will of the Lord. You know, but there's much more to it than so-called being charitable. All right. Those things are good to do. Ourselves as a camp. The brothers that I know. You know, they help out brothers who may be in need. Coats and like whatever brothers. I don't want to say like like it's trash or anything, but things that brothers don't use or things that brothers have and haven't um having stored away in the closet or the attic or storage, and they may have extra coats, extra pants, um, just different things, shoes and car seats, whatever, and they go out and they ask brothers if they need it, and if their brother need it, they give it to them. Brother needs somewhere to stay, they, food or gas or tires, Basically, the man of the Lord, being in the truth and having a brotherhood, we're self-sufficient. It's much more than helping out. It's much more than going to saying. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. um, um, man, what a scripture. Man, what was the scripture at? Slacking. I'm gonna find it. I just brought it out the other day. I want to say. Slacking. Right, right. It's much more than just calling on the name. For all intents and purposes, Jesus Christ. All right, 'cause even if you took on that narrative, right? Them Christians calling on the, which is not the name, the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Son is Yahweh Shai. All right, they have Hebrew names. All right, but for the sake of the lesson, these Christians call on Jesus, right? But yet they don't want to suffer like Jesus, man. They want to put their flesh under subjection. They don't want to follow the dietary laws. They don't want to labor and submit themselves to the will of the Lord. All right. And basically, also they don't want to suffer. All right. So Philippians 1:29, for unto you it is given in the behalf of Mashiach, not only to believe on him, but also suffer for his sake. All right. So it's much more than just believing. We got to suffer. We got to endure. We got to face these trials and these hurdles and these tribulations. All right. The furnace of affliction. All right. And what these Christians they don't do. They want the easier way out. They want to pay their tithes, jump up and down, and live their best life, man. They don't want to labor. They don't want to toil in the scriptures. They don't want to be on the outside looking in of the society, like the men of the Lord willing where those men are supposed to do. They want to be attached to this world. They want to, be involved with Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving, and they want to be involved in the LGBT whatever movements, man. They don't want to suffer and be talked about, or in Romans 10, and I'm gonna start at 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Look at that word zeal, right? So it's zeal. The Greek word for zeal.
Strong's G2205. Zelos. Zelos.
Where you get the word zealot or zealous from, right? It says excitement of mind, ardor, fervor of spirit, zeal, ardor in embracing, pursuing, defending anything, zeal in behalf of, for a person or thing, the fierceness of indignation, punitive zeal, and envious and contentious rivalry and jealousy. All right? So these Christians really go hard, these Christians really go hard for Jesus, man. They go to church, they shout up and down, they dance, and they be in they be in the crowd, or they be in the. I grew up in the church. They be like, Jesus, oh sweet Jesus, and they really be into it, man. So our spirit is naturally inclined. See how about Shemiah Shai? Our people have a spiritual connection to our Lord, man. All right, so yeah, their so-called heart is in the right place, so to speak, in the sense that they have adoration, to want to sing and dance, and but they don't. But the scriptures say this though: for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge, man. Okay, so they have a fervent, persistent. They have an affinity toward the spirit of the Lord. So to speak. They're they're really they have their Bible studies and their church service and the children's program, and like I said, they do these food drives and they feed the poor, and and they think that they're doing the work of the Lord. Okay, but they don't know that part of the work of the Lord is to suffer for the name of the Lord. All right, part of the work of the Lord is following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, standing up for what's right, right? Not trimming the way to seek. Hey, that's what the church does. They trim the way to seek love, man. Come as you are, all are welcome. All right, well, the scriptures clearly tell you homosexuals should be put to death, adulterers should be put to death, women shouldn't be wearing pants. All right, this cross-dressing and this transgenderism is wrong. Verse 3. So, for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. All right, they are ignorant of the Most High's righteousness, man. Okay, because the Most High righteousness has guidelines. All right, they have a code of conduct. All right, they have a way that's already laid out before us on how to live, man. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. In the Apocrypha. Salakia. I'll put another word in there, being lazy, Salakia. It says in 2 Ezra 5:27, And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. All right, we was all up under that cloud coming out of Egypt. All right, and when the Lord came and spoke to Moses, all right, after the children of Israel didn't want to hear the Lord because he was too mighty for them. All right, when the mother came back with the commandments, they all agreed, man. Okay, so we all approved that the Lord's law that He given us to live by, all right, was good. For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. Right, you're going about to establish your own righteousness, man. All right, saying you can pray over pork, saying that thinking in your mind that the Lord's not going to kill me for X, Y, and Z, for being a harlot or having abortions. All right, or the Lord accepts my homosexuality because God so loved the world. All right, and these things have poisoned the mind of our people, man. Let's go into some of these words. Let's start first time going ignorant, right? It says ignorant, to be ignorant, not to know, not to understand, unknown, to err in sin through mistake, to be wrong. All right? So they don't understand, they don't know about the Most High's righteousness, man. Okay? Yes, all our righteous are filthy rags. Okay, but yeah, we try, we as men of the Lord and a few sisters who try to follow in the footsteps in the path of Yahweh Shem Shai, try to put off those things that are gonna be delivering us to destruction, man. We come short, but yeah, we try to, we understand what the will of the Lord is. We understand the Lord's righteousness, man. All right, we understand about prayer and fasting and breaking down these scriptures the right way and correct way. To go on a history, to start studying and go into these words, to get an understanding, man. Okay? If we're not ignorant, the scripture says we're not ignorant in any matter, small or great. Well, this is a great matter, man. But how the Lord only came for the nation of Israel, how Esau, which is so-called Caucasian, is going to get put into slavery as a pursuant to Revelation. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Okay? All right, so these things that we're not ignorant, that these Israelite Christians, these Christian Israelites are ignorant, man. They don't understand. All right, let's go into some more. Going to the word righteousness, right? It says in the broad Dikaiosuna. In the broad state of him who is as he is ought to be. Righteousness, the condition acceptable to the Most High. The doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of the Most High. Integrity, virtue, purity of life, rightness, correctness of thinking, feeling, and acting. In a narrow sense, justice or the virtue which give each his due. That's heavy, man. I never looked at it I never looked at it. I always thought, in so many words I understood it, but this definition is heavy. It says in a broad sense, a state of him who is as he is ought to be. All right? So we ought to be kings. Okay, we ought to be gods, daughters, and good husbands and good fathers, man. Okay? All right, not being to the beggarly elements and this is a cut to me, man, putting our flesh in subjection more and more. All right? It's a righteousness, the condition acceptable to the Most High. We want to be in that state where we're blameless, we're unblemished. We don't want the Lord to be like, I sent you prophets, but you didn't listen to him. You agreed that the word of the Lord was good, but you went home and slept with that man anyway. Or slept with that woman anyway, knowing she was married. Or go home sleeping with your man if you're a man, and sleeping with a girl if you're a girl, man. Okay, it said the condition acceptable to the Most High. You know, the doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state approved of the Most High. The doctrine concerning the way in which man may attain a state. It's the scripture talk about um, continuing the doctrine. All right, you know, prepare the search of your fathers. All right, following the Lord, following the Lamb wherever He go. Hey, this law, this way that the Lord has set up, has already been approved already. All right, matter of fact, Paul said it. He said that the law was good. All right, this way of life that the Lord has set up, and we choose or not choose that we are following through the Spirit of Yahweh, it is good, man. All right, this was approved of the Lord. Integrity, virtue, all right, purity of life, rightness, correctness of thinking. All right, not going about to establish our own righteousness, man. All right, sitting here knowing that Leviticus 11, that those unclean foods and unclean meats are there for a reason. The laws are there for a reason. Okay, matter of fact, let me get to this. Reproof. It says 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction, and righteousness, man. All right, so this doctrine, these laws, this word of the Yahweh, these scriptures were written by men, inspired by the Lord. That's our guidelines of how to act and conduct ourselves, man. Okay, we use these scriptures to tell you that you're going off, that the way of thinking, that your way of thinking is wrong. Okay, loving your enemy and turning the other cheek. All right, don't mean don't mean what they say at face value, man. Okay, we use these scriptures as a measuring tool, the measuring stick, the guidelines of what's acceptable and what isn't in the eyes of Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right, and that's plain. All right, let's go on to the word submit. It says to arrange, under, to subordinate, to subjection, put in subjection, to subject oneself, obey, to submit to one's control, to yield to one's admonition or advice, to obey, to be subject. All right? And who they talking about? It's talking about Yahweh Shemi Shai. It's talking about the truth. All these things that are contained in the book of the law, all right, are put there to better ourselves, man. Okay? And so that's what it means to be in subjection. So for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, all right, you establish your own righteousness by thinking that your way is better, man. Thinking that you could do it better. All right, thinking that because when it says the woman can't teach, all right, that you want to prove the Lord wrong and go open up a church. Okay? All right, or even if you're men, all right, change your natural youth from a woman, from the natural youth of a woman, all right, to be a homosexual, but yet you go to church and pay your tithes, that you're thinking that you're going to make it into the kingdom of the Lord. And eventually you will be, but you're going to learn it death by pain. You're going to get put to death first. And that's another thing. You Christians don't understand about the judgment of the Lord. All right? Here you are, you got your brother or your mom or whoever, they blow themselves in their fucking head, right? Or jump off a damn building, jump on a train track and kill themselves, but yet you still think they're going to heaven, man. The scripture clearly talk about bring not seed not death in the air of your life, and putting out hurt upon you with your own hands, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, that's establishing your own righteousness, man. Thinking that the Lord don't judge little babies. You know? Get my notes, Salakia. Sirach, Sirach 5, 6. Sirach 5 and 6, it says, damn. I'm gonna start at 1. It's Sirach 5 and 1. Set thy heart upon thy goods and say not, I have enough for my life. Right? Like that one man who built the barn, who sat back and said, man, I have so much, I'm gonna build another barn, for the riches, man. And that's how you church folk thinks, man. You sit there, you go on your big old revivals across the country. You got your couple of group of sisters and your pastors, and they go out jet setting across the land and going to different countries. The Lord is good, He blessed me. Hey, there's nothing wrong with going out and going to travel. And I know brothers who personally travel. Hell, we even go to different camps, man, but we be in the spirit of the Lord and not in the prideful spirit, as in, yeah, I'm going to go to Italy, and we're going to go to Cancun, and we're going to go to Mexico, and go to Rome. Hey, man, hey, that's not what this is about right now, man. All right, you want to sit there and glory in a place that's polluted, going to lands where we once lived, and now they're under subjection of heathens and other nations. But you don't go there. You don't go there for the history. Hey, there's so much history in Europe, all right, in these places where these people be going, but they're there for the sun and for the damn blue water, man. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. Right? Don't be established your own righteousness, man. All right? Don't be thinking that your way is better. And say not, who shall control me for my works, right? Because the scripture talk about in our Romans, they won't submit themselves to the will of the Lord, to the righteousness of the Lord. And say not, who shall control me for my works. Yahweh will surely revenge thy pride. Right? Because they think that because they're not going through something right now, the Lord's not going to get them. Verse 4 says, say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For Yahweh is long suffering, He will in no wise let you go. Right? One day is 1,000 years. 1,000 years is one day. All right? So if you've been doing some wicked shit, man, for 20, 30 something years, they ain't nothing but a matter of seconds, a blink of an eye toward the Lord, man. All right? So you think you're getting away, but you're not. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin into sin. Right, man. The Christian church don't teach you to fear the Lord, man. All right. One of the brothers, put something in the grooming, about sudden death, caught on video, man. And these people with, anchor men, anchor women, in the middle of live shows, just dropping dead, man. Doing interviews, just dropping dead. That's the fear of the Lord, man. In your jollity, you get taken down, man. It says, and say not that mercy is great, He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins, for mercy and wrath come from Him, and His indignation rests upon a sinner, man, and that's a righteous judgment, man. All right, the judgment of the Lord is going to come visit you, man. Wisdom of Solomon, or the Sirach 5 is a very, very good chapter too. Let's move on. That's Luke 16 and 15. Luke 16 and 15. Said He said unto them, you are, right. Luke 16 and 15, He said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but the Most High knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Most High. Right, man. It says that, you got guys, people, who, they want to make sure that their works are being seen. They want to make sure that they get the pink envelope in church. They want to make sure that they get the parking spot in front of the doors. You want to be the one who scream hallelujah the loudest. You know, you want to be the one with the big hats and the lime green suits, man. Okay, you want to be the one that drive that Cadillac and you know have your kids going to private schools and college, man. Ye are they which justify yourself before men, but the Most High knoweth your hearts. For that was highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of the Lord. Right, man? 'Cause, hey, we're supposed to be the offscourge, man. All right, people are not supposed to be talking well. People are not supposed to be talking well about us, man. All right, we're not supposed to be um, uh, uh, um, um, well liked, so to speak, in the eyes of this world, man. Now, the scripture talk about I'm having a good report, which is very important. Okay, but that good report also means that we're not willing to bend and break and to keep our integrity, man, when it comes to these people, man. All right, hey, what's highly esteemed, man? You know, having a white picket fence and your wife and your 2 kids and stuff, and a great 6-figure job, and a nice car, perfect driving record, perfect teeth, perfect hair. Going through no tribulations. Let's look at that word, esteemed. Esteemed. All right, it says highly esteemed among men, right? I mean, high, lofty, exalted on high, with an uplifted arm, with signal power, metaphorically eminent, exalted, and influence and honor, to set the mind on, to seek higher things, as honors and riches, to be aspiring, man. All right? It's a lot of these damn church people, that's why they open up these big-ass churches, all right, with gift stores and bookstores and basketball courts and ATMs and Starbucks and all type of fucking madness in this stuff, man. Here you are in a church, right? You got 4 or 5 different versions of the Bible that you're selling, man. You got hey, these churches are big as stadiums, man. You got people traveling hours, and they don't want to travel hours because people come from a far distance to hear the Lord speak, right? But you're paying for which is not bread, man. Hey, you got the one church in Indiana where the pastor brings in bald eagles and lions and tigers and all type of stuff, man. Magicians and shit, man. And this is all an abomination to the Lord, man. Wish I knew the name of the church. I put his ass on blast. Luke 18. Oops, like it. What was it? 18 and 16? 18 and 9. Luke 18 and 9, I'm going to go through 12. It says, and he spake this parable with certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. Right, man. The scripture talk about leading out to your own understanding. The heart is deceitful among all things and desperately wicked. Who may know it? All right. It says, and he spake this parable unto the certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. Right, man. You guys think that the Lord is blessing you and you're holier than thou, because you're able to live in a good neighborhood. Drive a fancy car and have a good job. All right, but what about taking some of that and I'm taking a poor person with you, man? All right. What about helping out with somebody's rent or helping out with somebody's lights? Helping out watching somebody's kid while they mom or dad can't go on that job interview instead of talking about them, man. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus within himself, Yahweh, I thank thee that I am not as other men are extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. Right, man. So these guys just think like this when I was in the world. Long as I didn't kill anybody, long as I didn't rape nobody, hurt any kids. I was clean in the eyes of the Lord, man. I wasn't robbing people. I quit robbing people, let's put it like that. that I thought I was right in the eyes of the Lord. I'll look at my friends and try to justify my wickedness by comparing myself to them. It says, verse 12, it says, I fast twice a week. I give tithes to all that I possess. All right? And that's what you church folk think. If you try to, damn. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, man. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find, damn. Okay, damn. Damn, it was one, dang, that's, heaven. Look me a whole bunch of this word. Oh, no? Okay, let's see. Damn. I can't find it. Dang. It's basically, he thought yeah, I'm gonna quote, I'm roughly paraphrasing, that he thought the kingdom of heaven could be bought. You know? Hey, you can't think that because you paying the tithe. Hold on, let me see if I'm doing all this. All right, good. We still good. You know, think that you're fasting and that you're giving your tithes. Hey, you can't buy your way into the kingdom, man. All right? You know, fasting is great. You know, it shows faith and it shows some works. But if you take pride in that, you know, hey, that's gonna be a downfall. You think that that thief, you know, was you know, this is only speaking as a man. Well, I'm not even gonna say it. You know, the Lord forgives him. You know, how much works do you really think? You know, it don't say about the works that he had, man, but his faith. You know, he said basically he said that they deserved to hang. You know, hang on the cross. You know, but this man did no wrong, man. It's about Yahweh Shai. So it's not about, you know, fasting and tithing, you know, so to speak, man. If you're basing your faith and your righteousness on that, man, you're going off. It says, and the publican standing up far off would not lift up so much his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, Most Yahweh be merciful unto me, a sinner. Right, man. Hey, the Lord is dealing with the ones of a contrite spirit, man, a broken spirit. You know, and here this publican is a tax collector. All right, wouldn't even. He was so down on himself that he wouldn't lift up his head toward the Lord, man, and screaming out, you know, asking for mercy, man. And that's the spirit we got to be in, man. All right, we don't want to be in the Pharisee spirit, thinking that or the Christian spirit, you know, comparing ourselves and justifying our works, comparing our works to another, thinking that we're holier than thou. Because I tell you, this man went down to his house both justified rather than the other. For every one that exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. So you Christian people who think that gain is got, matter of fact, it says, 1 Timothy 6:5, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw themselves. But godliness with contentment is great gain, man. All right, we don't want to be, because these guys who are pushing this Christian doctrine about, you know, the more you got, the better the Lord dealing with you. Well, I bought a house and I'm doing this and I'm doing that The Lord is dealing with you. Hey, man. Hey, Donald Trump get to feel the good weather too. Donald Trump gets to enjoy the beaches and the air and the beautiful scene of the mountains. You know, I say that to say this, man. The Lord makes it rain on the just and the unjust, man. Okay? Didn't Satan try to tip Yahushua with the riches? Okay? Y'all don't read the scriptures, man. Y'all err. You know? Y'all ignorant, like the scripture has said, man. Not knowing, man. All right? He said, from such withdraw themselves. And so you're supposed to withdraw yourself for that church, man. That's all that goes on in the church. Keeping up with the Joneses, man. Keeping up with the first lady and the deacon board members, man. All right? That's the spirit we got to be in, man. Low, humble, and meek. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get out of here. Job 33 and 8. I forgot who it is. It might be Eliphaz or Bildad. Job 33 and 8 says, surely thou hast spoken in mine hearing, and I've heard the voice of thy word, saying, I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me, man. You know, and that's what we hear. That's what we hear when you church folks are over there bragging and boasting, all right, about uncertain riches and about how the Lord is dealing with, how God, sweet Jesus, gave you this and gave you that. I'm fasting, I'm paying tithes, and, you know, I gave this old lady my hamburger, man. And you saying you're clean without transgression. You said that you are innocent and there is no iniquity in you, man. Hey, but let's get this, though. Ecclesiastes 7 and 20. For there's not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sinneth not. So all you goddamn Christians, man, hey, you want to be holier than thou? Thinking that there's no iniquity in you, man. Hey, the Lord said, man, there ain't nobody on this earth that doeth good and don't sin, man. You know? So therefore say, call Allah, you may how about me outside. Double honor to the apostles and the elder of the great millstone. Till next time, Shalom.